Hey everyone, it's Cindy Kennedy, and it is time for this week's Mojo Boost. Today we are exploring how you can use the good, the bad, and even the ugly to help you find your voice and even your life's work. So often I hear people say, why would people want to hear my story? If I was being invited to stand up in front of a group of people, what would I talk about? You have something to say. I know it. Just often we don't take the time to ask ourselves what it could be, or we don't even know what questions to ask. So I'm going to pose 4 questions to you, and you can download it from the worksheet below. 4 questions that will help you access what is your voice? How can you use your voice for change that's in alignment with who you are, and can also lead you smack dab into your life's work. So before I do that, let me just give a couple quick examples. So the good. So often there's certain things that we love. We love so much. So for example, I know this woman who loved dancing, just loved it. She never studied at all, but she just loved to dance. And when she started working with a coach, really cool, she realized that she could actually take people around the world to different places where they could study dance. And so she would use her voice for change, mean in a way that would invite people to celebrate themselves through dance. And that's how she literally makes her life now, is money through traveling and dancing. Others dancing and she dances. Isn't that cool? Another coach friend of mine loves France and everything to do with France. And so everything is about how can you become more French. So certain things that we love can certainly create and help us find our voice and help us find our passion. Now what about the bad and the ugly? Well, just the other day, a very, very dear friend of mine experienced the ugly. Unfortunately, she was experiencing sexual harassment at work. Now that's the ugly side of it. Now fortunately, she's been around long enough, and she literally put her hand out and went, this is not acceptable. And she drew very, very strong boundaries, and she dealt with it. Now, of course, on the hindsight of dealing with it, she's had to really, really nurture herself this weekend. But the beautiful side of the ugly is that it's helped her connect with what her longer vision is. She's currently working for someone else, but she knows that she wants to work for herself again. She knows that. And she knows now more than ever before that it is going to be about helping women navigate senior leadership roles, where it is still primarily a more male-dominated workforce. How women can help each other instead of hinder each other, and how to stay empowered and how to keep using your voice. So that's the beautiful side. And that's professionally. Now, personally, if you didn't hear my interview with Kate Campbell last week, Kate was in a boat crash, and the boat was not insured for third party, meaning there's no way she could have actually received compensation. At first, she had to go to a legal battle. But what Kate is using her voice now for is to challenge that. And she's heading to Sydney soon to meet some politicians to do what she can to ensure that third party insurance becomes compulsory for all boat owners. So again, whether that becomes her path, it's part of her, and it's how she's using her voice for change. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here's the 4 questions you can ask yourself to help you find and really own how you can, or maybe already are, using your voice for change. And potentially how this could lead you to your life's work if you're not doing it already. So here are the 4 questions. What really ticks you off? What really, really irks you? Next, what makes your heart sing? That could be the dancing, that could be France. What breaks your heart? It could break your heart to see people sing, and I mean in a beautiful way, and you just go, oh my gosh, I so need to be working with people to help them find their passion. Or maybe it breaks your heart to see old people not taken care of in nursery homes. And lastly, what do you naturally encourage people to do? Some people have just been big travelers, and you're such an advocate of traveling and that form of education in your life. And that's what you consistently encourage people to do. Go traveling. Get out and experience something completely zany. Or are you constantly telling people, go connect with nature? Right? So those are the 4 questions. And again, you can download them in the sheet below. But asking yourself those questions will help you connect or reconnect to the power of your voice. Now, what I'm really going to ask you to do is please send in a comment. I would love for you to share what you learned, and especially what is it starting to point you towards. So that's this week's Mojo Boost, everyone. Keep owning your voice. Have fun exploring it. Can't wait to see you next week. See ya.